Gonzaga basketball finally makes the jump to the Power 5 level. They've been in the Group of 5. They've been in the West Coast Conference for a long time. In fact, BYU got out of that conference before Gonzaga did. It's not the Big 12. Everyone thought the jump would sooner or later be the Big 12 for Gonzaga. It is not. It is the newly formed Pac-12 that now has Washington State, Oregon State, Boise State, Fresno State, Colorado State. I believe there's one more, maybe Utah State. Now adds Gonzaga basketball. About time. The question is, I asked my friends, does this move make sense, right? Obviously, they said yes. It's the Pacific Conference. They're in Washington. They're right there. Obviously, it makes sense for them to join, and it does make sense in that aspect. But this team doesn't, this program, this college doesn't have football. And we know, and you should know, if you're watching this video, that football drives everything. That is where the money is. That's what determines everything in college sports. That's what determines all this conference realignment recently, is all because of football. It has nothing to do, almost nothing to do with every other sport until recently. And this is why I think Gonzaga was able to join the Pac-12, is because the Big 12 pretty much grabbed UConn. Now, UConn does have a football program, at least for something, and maybe they were like, let's get some easy wins in this football conference grabbing UConn, which the football program's not joining until like 2032, something way out into the future. But they grabbed UConn for basketball. 2026 basketball, UConn is in the Big 12. I don't think we get Gonzaga in the Pac-12 if that deal first doesn't happen. Because I think Gonzaga might have been fighting for that deal. They might have been trying to get in to the Big 12 instead of UConn. They might have had a little fight for it. And UConn ended up winning probably because they do have a football program and Gonzaga doesn't. Ultimately, Gonzaga gets what they needed. They get what they wanted. They get better experience in college basketball games as the season goes along, because that's been their knock for years, right? They're good and out of conference to start the season, and then they just play teams that aren't to their level all year, and then when we get to the March Madness tournament, Gonzaga just isn't ready, right? Hopefully now they will be ready, because they're going to get way more better games. I don't care which way you shape it. Having to play Washington State, Oregon State, Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State more consistently is going to lead to better production, better game-ready scenarios. It's just going to be a better overall fit for them. I feel bad for the West Coast Conference, because who's going to watch the West Coast Conference anymore with Santa Clara and all those teams? It's San Francisco. It's just not going to happen anymore, and especially now because it's like they literally, the way they run that conference tournament is literally so Gonzaga make sure they get that auto bid, and now it's going to be different. Not the way the conference tournament is. The way that conference is as a whole is going to be very, very different here in the near future. Ultimately, Gonzaga gets what they want finally after getting the Pac-12. The Pac-12 needs to add more. I'm shocked UNLV isn't already a part of this Pac-12, especially because the Pac-12 seems to be wanting to dominate the Las Vegas area. So I'm shocked UNLV isn't already in it. I'm shocked they didn't just grab UNLV in Nevada and call it a conference. But ultimately, they think they have like 9 now. I think they need 3 more. They probably are trying to get Stanford and Cal back. I think that's a very likely scenario that they do get Stanford and Cal back. And then after that, you need one more team. I think UNLV makes the most sense. I don't know who else you would grab unless a team like Tulane wants to make the jump there. A team like Memphis wants to make the jump there. But realistically, it just doesn't make sense. Ultimately, Gonzaga now got what they wanted. They're in the Power 5 conference for basketball. Time to get some national championships for them. That is what they are thinking. My name is Josh Wissey. Please hit the subscribe button, because I promise you there's something on this channel for you if you like sports. Josh Wissey. Thank you.